What is going on, guys? My name is Chaotic and welcome back to another Grand Theft Auto 5 video here on my channel. Now in today's video I'm going to be showcasing the brand new Elegy Retro Custom, which of course is based upon the Nissan Skyline GTR R33. It is a very good looking car and it's brand new in GTA Online as of today in the import and export update. And by the looks of things, this vehicle is now the most customizable car in GTA Online. So getting straight into things then, so when you first purchase this car, it will begin as the Elegy RH8, the standard vehicle that's been available in-game since day one, and you can purchase this from the Benny's Original Motorworks website for a huge price of free. It is completely free to purchase, just like the other standard Elegy, which you can get from the Legendary Motorsports website. So you can go ahead and buy this, take it down to the custom shop, and transform it into the Elegy Retro Custom. So it's a pretty big change, as these are two separate cars in real life. But nevertheless, you can get this for free from the Benny's Original Motorworks website, take it into the custom shop, and then upgrade it. And the cost of doing so will cost you $904,000, which yes, is a lot of money. Almost $1 million to upgrade this from the standard Elegy into the Retro Custom. But do bear in mind, you haven't spent any money whatsoever purchasing this car, so in a way, it sort of works out and it's just like any other Benny's vehicle. And this car has loads of really cool customizations available for it at Benny's Original Motorworks. So first of all then, starting off in bumpers, we have loads of different choices in this category. If you want to, you can fit a sticker bomb splitter. There are loads of different sticker bomb panels available for this vehicle, but I'm not really a huge fan of those, so I went ahead and selected the extended front diffuser. Moving on to rear bumpers, you got a few options in this category as well. Carbon diffuser, the carbon track diffuser, and the carbon race diffuser. I went with the carbon race diffuser. There's not really a huge difference between the three, but it's slightly bigger and more aggressive, so I selected it. Then as for bumper meshes, if you want to, you can remove the badge, which I did so, or you can remove the grille and the lower bumper mesh as well, but I'm not really a huge fan of the exposed look. Then as for intercoolers, you can't actually see this being fitted, so in a way it kind of feels like a waste of money, but I went ahead and selected the Logo Monster intercooler. Now moving on to headlights, all the options in this category effectively allow you to remove the headlights and replace them with these plastic inserts. If you go ahead and select any of these, you'll no longer have any headlights whatsoever, so at night you'll have to struggle without. Moving on to doors, if you want to, you can fit either painted wind deflectors or chrome ones. I'm not really a huge fan of those, so I didn't select any. Then moving on to fenders, in this category you have the option to basically extend the wheel arches just like you can on the Banshee 900R and on the Sultan RS. And there are quite a few options in this category as well, but I selected the bolt-on wheel arches. Then moving on to engine block, you can of course then change the color of the valves. If you want to, you can go for some polished ones or carbon ones, but I selected the primary color ones. Moving on to cam color, again, similar sort of situation. You can change the color of the cam belt cover, or if you want to, you can remove it completely and have it exposed, but I selected the secondary color one, so I can make that different if I wanted to. So when I open up the hood, there's a slightly different contrast in there. Moving on to strut brace, again, loads of options in here if you guys are into this sort of thing. If you want to, you can also fit the sticker bomb strut brace, but I ended up going with the carbon strut brace. And then finally, engine tunes, I fully upgraded that. Moving on to exhaust, now again, loads of options in this category. You'll see this with pretty much every customization option for the Elegy Retro Custom, which in a way is kind of good, because if you want to, you can create two different versions of this vehicle. You might have one which is very basic and standard, and then maybe have one with loads of customizations on, and if you want to, just go over the top with it. But in terms of exhaust, I went ahead and selected the twin titanium tuner exhaust. Moving on to grills, now you can't actually change the grill itself, but you can change the plastics around, so you have the option to stay with stock, or you can go for a secondary one, or you can make it black or carbon. I went with the black one. Then moving on to hood accessories, which I'm pretty sure is a brand new customization feature exclusive to the Nissan Skyline or the Elegy Retro Custom. And in this category, if you want to, you can fit things like lips or catches or different angle catches on the hood itself, but I selected the lip and chrome catches. Then moving down to hood, in this category again, loads of different hoods to choose between. I think I ended up selecting the double vented hood, which I thought was pretty awesome, but if you want to, you can go more extreme and select either the performance hood or the raised extreme hood, or of course a carbon hood, but I'm not really a huge fan of those. Then moving on to interior, like any Benny's vehicle, you can upgrade the interior in this custom shop, and there are loads of different options available. Starting off with the trim design, I selected the sun visor, and I made the interior black. Then moving on to dash, and again in this category, loads of really cool customization options where you can add extra buttons and dials to the dashboard. You can also add the gear shifter or handbrake that's sticking up, you can now see in the video. And you also have the option to fit steel plating in the footwell as well, which I thought was pretty cool. Then moving on to dial design, in this category, you can either add or change the dials available in this vehicle. I ended up selecting the Mark II display, which is like an electronic read-up on the dashboard, and it also adds some glovebox gauges as well. I thought that was pretty awesome. Then moving on to the doors customization, in this category, there's not really a huge range to choose between. They're pretty much just the same thing, but different colors. I ended up selecting the carbon panel door cards, which I thought gave it a very cool racing style. Then moving on to seats, again in this category, loads of different options to choose between. You've got 3 or 4 different style of seat and bucket seats to choose between, with a few different seat belt colors as well. I ended up selecting the carbon race seats, which look very, very uncomfortable, but thankfully I'm not the one sitting in the car. Then moving on to steering wheel. Now with this new car, we've got some new steering wheels to choose between as well, whereas previously with most Benny's vehicles, they're all pretty much the same for every vehicle. So thankfully with this one, we've got a few new ones, and I selected the Sprint Clubman. Then moving on to roll cages, if you want to, you've got a few different options to choose between, like the half roll cage in the back. You can add the Dash Dodger, or you can have the padded version, or you can go for a full roll cage, which is also padded. I ended up selecting the padded Dash Dodger, which didn't make the roll cage look too messy in the back, but still gave it the roll cage look. Then as you guys can see in the gameplay, I'm just showing you guys how no matter which headlights you select, there are no headlights on this vehicle once you change them out for plastic inserts, which I still think is kind of annoying. But moving on to liveries, in this category, again, loads of different ones to choose between. Some really nice ones, racing style. You've also got some drift style ones as well, but the car also looks great, I think, with no livery. I ended up selecting though the Midnight Racer, and then changing both the primary and secondary color to silver, as I was trying to create Paul Walker's car, because he of course had something like this in real life. But like I said, there are so many liveries available for this vehicle, and so many different customization options as well. You could create numerous different versions of this vehicle, and they'd all look different. You could create numerous different variations thanks to the number of customizations available for the vehicle. Then going back to the license plate option, now if you want to, you can remove the front license plate completely, which is what I did, but if you prefer it, you can move it either to the left or the right hand side of the vehicle. Then going around to the back, I fitted my custom plate, which reads chaotic, and we're still not done yet. Let's move on to the next customization option, which is roof. We got 2 different options in this category, one being roof accessories, where we can fit either a roof vent or a carbon vent. I went with the standard roof vent. Then going around to the back to roofs, where you can fit a spoiler to the roof if you want to, or of course you can fit a vortex generator, which I thought looked pretty cool. So I went ahead and fitted the standard vortex generator. Then going down to skirts, again, loads of options in this category as always. I went ahead and selected the set of carbon skirt extensions. Then going down to spoiler, in this category we have 21 different options. 21. So you guys have plenty to choose between. I'm not really a huge fan of a lot of them, but it all comes down to which style you're going for. And I ended up selecting the tuner wing, which I thought matched best with the style which I was going for. But there are loads of other options as well, some which I think are just over the top, like the Extreme Street Racer wing and the Extreme Time Attack wing. But if you guys are into that style, then of course the option is there. Moving on to suspension, I went ahead and lowered that all the way. This of course is a drift car. I then upgraded the transmission and the turbo, and then went down to window tints and set that to limo. As you may have noticed, I missed the wheels option, and the reason for that is because I kind of like the stock wheels, and they sort of also go with the style and the color of the car as well, so I kept those stock. And there we go guys, that's it for the customization then of this vehicle. Certainly a lot of customizations to go through, loads and loads of really cool customization options that you guys will have plenty of fun applying to this vehicle. And I know for a fact that many of you guys have been requesting the Nissan Skyline to be added into GTA 5. And finally, Rockstar have answered our prayers and added this into the game, which I think is extremely awesome. So I think it's safe to say this will be a very popular vehicle from this update. It's also pretty good when it comes to its performance, its speed, its handling, and its drifting, and so on. And this clearly is the most customizable car now available in GTA Online. So there we go guys, with that being said, that's it for this video. But I want to get your thoughts and feelings on this new Elegy Retro Custom. Go ahead and leave a comment. It would also be greatly appreciated if you guys could also drop a like on this video as well. It would help me out a lot and it's also greatly appreciated. And if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, I recommend that you do, because I upload all the latest and the greatest Grand Theft Auto 5 content. So as always guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.